Hello everyone, I am Adarsh and I'm working as a senior category manager in sports and fitness category for Reliance Retail GeoMart, and I have over 9 years of professional experience in various fields: e-commerce, energy and IT. And I have done my MBA from IIM Trichy, and before that I've done my BTech from Government Engineering College Thrissur. And over my professional journey, I hope to explain to you how you can enter into the corporate world and maybe help you out in making the decision of what career paths to choose ahead. So, to get into MBA, you have to give a common entrance exam. So that's CAT, and this exam it has various sections. So it has quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning and data interpretation, and verbal ability and reading comprehension. So it tests you across different skill sets. It tests your comprehension, reading comprehension skills. It tests your data interpretation ability, and it tests your quantitative aptitude. So if you have this ability to work on different problems and you find these challenges interesting, you should definitely go for it. And by giving the CAT, you are eligible to get into the top management colleges in India, like IIMs, FMS, XLRI, etc. So you will be able to get entry into this, and in the process there are different stages. So once the exam is done, then you'll have your group discussions, then personal interviews. So after all that, you'll be, and this is an all India level exam, so you will be competing against your peers all across India. So it's a tough exam, it's a competitive exam. You need to prepare well and have good aptitude for the same. And now coming to my experience in IIM Trichy, the 2 years that I spent there were really wonderful. It is a highly competitive environment. You meet people from diverse backgrounds who are coming there, and these are the top performers all across. So I had a stint of 3 years of corporate life, after which I went for my MBA. So that prepared me well for the challenges that lay ahead. I had an understanding of how the corporate works and what are the challenges that we face, and so I was able to apply that a lot during my MBA period. And the since the environment is very competitive, the mode of teaching is also different. So you will have case studies, then corporate seminars, so different guest lectures. You'll have competitive events, group projects. So the environment is completely different over there. It's challenging, but at the same time it's collaborative as well. And that doesn't mean that you won't have fun. So you will all there'll be extracurricular activities. You'll have different kinds of fests, sports competitions. So you'll have an all-round development during the time that you spend there, and definitely you'll make friends for life as well. Now, if I have to explain about a typical day for me in work, it actually varies a lot, because every day there are new challenges that come with the role. And generally, like, we have a lot of meetings. So these meetings are review meetings where we try to understand where are we currently, and have we achieved what we had initially planned to achieve. So we look at the sales numbers, we look at the performance, we look at different projects that are going on. How is the progress? Is there any issues that are there? Do we need to solve those issues? Then, other than that, we have a lot of meetings with the vendors as well, to understand what are the challenges that they're facing, what are the issues that they have, how do we solve those issues. And then we have different planning for different marketing campaigns that we're going to run, the promotions that we're going to run. We also have to see what the trends are going on in the market, what are the changes that keep happening. And since the role is a cross-functional role, we have to collaborate with other departments like planning department, the tech team, finance, operations, and supply chain as well. So we need to understand how each team is performing, what are the challenges that they're facing, how we can collaborate and work better. So I would say that the role is a mix of strategy, analytics, negotiation, and leadership. Some of the key qualities that you need to be in this role is, the first I would say would be analytical ability. So you need to work with a huge set of numbers. The data that flows in is a lot. You need to be able to interpret it, analyze it, and apply it quickly so that you can make decisions. And the next key ability that is required is negotiation. So you need to be able to negotiate not just with the vendors but with different teams, because there's always going to be a resource crunch. You always need something that which the other person has, and there's a lot of give and take that keeps happening. So you need to be able to negotiate and try to achieve a win-win situation. And the third key element that I would say would be problem solving. So every day there would be different challenges that come up, so you need to be able to solve these problems on the fly and understand how the challenges arose, go down deep down into it, deep dive and understand how these challenges can be solved and how you can prevent this from coming up. And the fourth thing I would say would be you should be very agile and adaptable. The changes keep happening a lot. This is a very new industry, and it's very volatile. So the changes keep happening very at a fast pace. So you need to be able to adapt and learn quickly. And the final thing I would say that would be required in this role is, like, definitely you should be able to be a good leader and take decisions. So you have to be able to take decisions depending on there might be a time crunch, you might not have all the data, but you should be able to take the right decisions so that you are able to grow. The key challenges that I face in the job first would be to maintain the growth in this very competitive environment. So everybody is fighting for their market share and they want to grow. So to keep your own pace and to be able to achieve that market share, so that is very challenging. The second thing I would say would be to handle the day-to-day negotiation that keeps happening, not just with the vendors but different teams for different kinds of resources. So you constantly keep need to be negotiating with them to get a win-win situation. Then the third thing I would be saying would be to coordinate among different teams. So the role is always a cross-functional role. You need to be able to coordinate with different teams from tech, finance, supply chain, customer support. And the final thing I would say would be to be very adaptable to changing the customer trends and the competitive landscape. So you need to be able to understand the customer mindset and see where the trends are going. But despite all these challenges, it's a very interesting role. You are able to actually influence what the customer is shopping for, how they're making purchases online. So you can see all these changes happening in real time, and you can see that the impact that you're creating. The educational qualifications required to enter into this role. So you will initially need a undergraduate degree. So it can be any undergraduate degree, BCom, BBA, or BTech. Generally, what I have seen is that BTech would give you a bit of a head start because the role requires a lot of data interpretation. So engineers, because they have already gone through the rigor of an engineering degree, and they are analytical and work a lot with data, so there is a slight preference, but it's not at all mandatory. And then as you need to go into leadership roles, MBA is required. So if you want to go grow higher and join in a senior role or a leadership role, you would require an MBA. So, and the MBA, if it is from good business schools like the top ones, IIMs, so there you can go into different fields for like marketing, strategy, or operations. And Other than that, if you have certifications for data analytics, digital marketing, and supply chain management, so these also help you out differentiating from different candidates. Now, coming to the interesting part about compensation or salary. So, that is a major driver that we look at. So, compensation depends on various factors, like it will depend on the company that you work for, the location that you're in, the type of role that you're in. So, if I look at e commerce, if you're at an entry level job, it can range from about, for a fresher, it can range about 5 to 10 lakhs. And if you are you're coming after an MBA, and if you're joining at an entry level job, it can range from about 10 to 15 lakhs for the entry level role. Then, as you progress through the roles, it can go from 20 to 30 lakhs. And for senior roles and leadership roles, you can get upwards of 50 lakhs. But again, as I said, it all depends upon the company that you're in, the type of role that you're in, because each role is different. So uh, you'll find a lot of differences in different types of roles. So a marketing role might not get a similar salary to an operation role, or a finance role, or a strategy role. So each role is different, each skill set is different, and each company is different. So based on which type of company you are in, your compensation will definitely vary. But if you look at all across industries, e-commerce does pay well. It's a growing sector and it's an upcoming sector, so you will be compensated well. So coming to the growing sectors, yeah, e-commerce is definitely on a growing trend. It's a 130 billion industry in India right now, and it's expected to go up to 360 billion by 2030, which is a CAGR of about 20%. So there's a huge growth that is happening in e-commerce, and e-commerce is just uh, and e-commerce is not just limited to the e-commerce companies like the tech giants of Amazon and Flipkart and or Geomart for that matter, but it is completely dependent on the complete online ecosystem as well. So it includes all companies which offer online services, be it Ola, Uber. So the possibilities are vast, and especially in digital payments as well. You see that Google Pay or Phone Pay. So they have built a good ecosystem as well. So all of this is growing, and this industry is really huge. And especially if you see now with the advent of quick commerce firms which have taken over India, so like Blinkit, Zepto, and Instamart. So all of this has actually increased our internet commerce, and the we are really on a growth trajectory. And even if you see the food aggregators like Swiggy or Zomato, for that matter, so there is a lot that's happening in the e-commerce sector. You'll see a lot of churn that happens, you'll see a lot of growth that will happen in the sector. You'll see new firms come up, there'll be disruptors that come up challenging the incumbents. So there'll always be a change, and this sector is here to stay. So it's a very interesting sector, and uh, if you like challenges, if you like problem solving, you should think about this and try to join it. Now, if I talk about the team size and company culture, so the team size varies. Typically, it's from 5 to 8 people. So that's the team strength, and you have to collaborate with across different teams. So the teams that you'll be interacting with will be much larger. So that's the typical size, and culture will be always fast paced, highly agile, and target driven, and you'll have to work with a lot of data. So you have to be highly analytical. And if I come to the work hours, it will be long work hours, especially when you are starting out. You can any day you can expect from 9 to 10 hours, stretching up to 12 hours as well. And there might be times that you have to stretch on weekends as well, especially when there are campaigns that are running or it's a sale period. So during those times, you'll definitely have to work weekends. You might have to work late nights. So, but then it's definitely rewarding when you see that the work that you're putting in, there's a output to it, and you can see it in real time. And there is a lot of collaboration also happens, that is across different teams, across vendors, across senior management. So you'll get to see a lot more of the organization. You'll get to interact with everybody, and but you'll always be in the middle of it, and you'll be always be accountable for it. So it's a challenging role, but it's engaging and uh, enriching as well. So overall, summarizing, I would say that if you are have strong analytical ability and problem solving skills, you should definitely look into this sector. Go for an MBA and discover what is that interests you, where your interests lie, and which is the direction that you want to take. And if you are looking to come into e-commerce, you should learn a bit of tools like Excel, SQL, and data visualization tools like Tableau. So these are required and would be very helpful in your day-to-day activities. Also, when you're looking at industry trends and how the consumer behaves, so having a good understanding of that will also help you a lot. And as you develop your soft skill and communication skills and negotiation skills, you'll be able to extract much more out of your job, and not just for this role, it is applicable all across roles. And try to get as much as real world experience as you can get, either through internships or through live projects that you do. So this will prepare you well for your corporate job, because what you learn in college, a lot of that is different from what you'll be actually applying in your work. So that experience you can get from the practical experience of either internships or live projects. So overall, once you're deciding on your career path and how you should be able to look at it and evaluate different options, I hope that the insights that I've shared and the experience that I have told you, that would help you make the decision a bit easier. And if you are interested in solving problems, looking at real challenges, and if working with numbers interests you, you should definitely look at an MBA and join the e-commerce. It will be rewarding for you, but yeah, it would be challenging.